Hello and welcome. In today's video, we'll be solving an algorithm problem on FreeCodeCamp called Palindrome in JavaScript. I'm going to solve the problem as I go so you can see the process I follow. Let's jump right into it here. On this problem, we're going to just check to see if a string's a palindrome. We're going to return true if it is, otherwise return false. If a palindrome is a word or sentence that's spelled the same way, both forward and backward, and we're going to ignore punctuation, case, and spacing. And then it also tells us to remove all non-alphanumeric characters, meaning any punctuation, spaces, and symbols. We're going to leave behind characters and numbers. And then we're going to turn everything into the same case to make sure to double check for palindromes. So they're going to give me strings like race car with different capitalizations and spacing, and they're going to throw me some special symbols. So, approaching this problem, I'm going to look at them and think about it. Okay, cool. Well, what's the first step in this? Well, let's first off put it all in the same case. So I'm going to jump straight into the code here, and we're going to look at making it the same case. So let's do instead, I'm going to do a variable, we're just going to do string equals string dot to lowercase, because JavaScript has that function, which makes that super simple. Okay, now I know it's in lowercase, and I can go ahead and hold on to that. Now, at this point, FreeCodeCamp, you should have reviewed regex, or regular expressions. Regular expressions people get really afraid of and worry about, oh no, how do I do these? There's a really, really easy way to do it, because I'm not going to lie to you, I never remember. In fact, I had to sit here and think about what the name of that even was for a second. I have, though, this here. This is called regexpal at regexpal.com. It's super easy to use. It gives you a cheat sheet here on the side, and you just type in some example strings, and then you plug in a regular expression. Here, what I have is I say, hey, I want you to find in this range, right, a group, hey, are there any lowercase letter z's? We're going to ignore those, and we want to ignore anything that is not a 0 through a 9. And then you can see down here that I have matched all of the special characters and spaces. Okay, easy enough. Then, if we come back to code, oh my goodness, there we go. Come back here. Now we can go ahead and say, all right, well, let's just take out those characters right off the bat. So we can just do var regular expression equals, and I'm going to go ahead and just type this while you're watching. This gets a regular expression started, and we're going to say in a group not A through Z, and this is or not 0 through 9, and I'm going to do global. Okay, and then all I have to do is say string equals string dot replace this regular expression, and then replace that with a blank space. Now, anything they send me, this string will, if you go back over here to the regular expression tester and look here, I have some examples. Here's a string. Here's a string, and it had this exclamation point in it. I changed it to uppercase in this case. It's basically the same thing. And then you have this regular expression that I had up there, and then I change it, and I replace it with a blank space, and then you get just the string back. So that's what we're going to do here in the code. String equals string dot replace regular expression, replace it with that blank space. Now all we have to do, that's our forward string, and then we can say let's go with a variable, call it reverse string equals well, how the heck do we reverse a string? Well, that's pretty easy. Remember, we can string together functions. So we can say string dot split, and that turns it into an array. We can't forget though, we want to split every character by passing in this, so it's going to do every one of them. String dot split dot reverse, which now it's an array, so then you can reverse it, and then you can join it and put that same blank in there. And now I have reverse string, I have the original string, and I can just say if string is equal to reverse string, then we're going to return true. Otherwise, down here, we'll return false. Then we can go down to the results, and we can run the tests, and boom, we were able to do it. Okay, so I don't want to submit that quite yet. I wasn't quite expecting that to blow up in my face like that. It's really that simple, though. So what that was, to sum that up, what I did is I broke this down into smaller problems. Okay, I set myself up and I said, well, let's get it all in the same case right off the bat. Let's get rid of the white space and the special characters by only leaving behind the characters that I want to use. Use the string.replace function with that regex pal. Very highly recommend that. Play around with that, and it'll help you out a lot, especially in these problems. And then we made a reverse one. We checked to see if the backwards and forwards was the same. Return true if they were. Otherwise, return false. You could go ahead and collapse this and refactor it and make it very short, but I don't really feel like it's totally necessary. I prefer it. I prefer code that's a little bit more verbose in the name of readability, because I feel like code should be readable. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I know I did.